You want to watch Dookie? I want to watch Joe Bye Doo. Joe Bye Dung. Joe Bye Dump. Joe Bye Dumpster Fire. Joe Bye Done? Bye Done. One term president, a failure. Ultimately, he will be remembered as this presidential. They're trying to, what the picture is trying to make him look vibrant and young and strong. He's not any of those things. Let's listen to Dishonesty Network, ABC Disney. Call them Dishonesty Network.
A real fun place to be.
Yeah, Disney used to be fun. It used to make good stuff. No, it's been making shit for years. We're just started the farted. I hope it doesn't last another 100 years. I hope to God not. No, it might last another 100.
Bachelor will be seen in its entirety following this from ABC.
Oh no, people missed the Golden Bachelor last night.
This is an ABC News special.
So we're just redoing this. Just
because. To the nation. Now reporting.
Look, he's so young. They airbrushed his potato head.
We're coming on the air at this hour because President Biden is about to address the nation from the
I
Oval
need a
Office,
nose
speaking
job.
about Israel's war with Hamas and about Ukraine's war with Russia and America's role in helping its allies with these two conflicts now unfolding. He is
why is there two fucking conflicts unfolding? It's a weak fucking president.
Tonight's address coming just hours
after weak ass
the U.S. has fired its first shots in defense of Israel.
64.
USS Carney taking down rockets fired from Yemen in the direction of Israel.
Swimming in Yemen with their own condominiums, 5x5, dropping millenniums.
Israel signaling its ground war into Gaza is imminent. The defense minister there in Israel telling troops
they're just
ready to see Gaza, quote, from the inside. The Israeli military unleashing relentless airstrikes on the Gaza Strip, saying it has hit hundreds of Hamas targets now. The president is deeply concerned about the fate of more than 200 hostages held by Hamas. Of course, Americans among them.
All right. Let's get to Doo-Doo Head. Oh, there he is. Doo-Doo. President Doo-Doo.
Good evening, my fellow Americans. We're facing an inflection point in history.
Oh, boy.
One of those moments.
We're at an inflection point. Who talks like that, first of all? I know I discussed the speech last night, but we're at an inflection point in history. An inflection. Oh, boy. One more year of this shit, guys. One more year, and this motherfucker's out of there. My God.
With the decisions we make today, you're going to determine the future for decades.
One long-ass year of this fart.
That's what I'd like to talk with you about.
From 81 to 82 years old.
Earlier this morning, I returned from Israel. They tell me I'm the first American president to travel there during the war.
Oh, they did his hair.
I met with the prime minister.
It looks less potato-y.
And most movingly, I met with Israelis who had personally...
Does he wear implants?
...horror of the attack by Hamas on the 7th of October. More than 1,300 people slaughtered in Israel, including at least 32 American citizens. Scores of innocents, from infants to the elderly grandparents, Israelis, Americans taken hostage. As I told the families of Americans being held captive by Hamas, we're pursuing every avenue to bring their loved ones home. As president, there is no higher priority for me than the safety of Americans held hostage. The terrorist group Hamas unleashed pure, unadulterated evil. But sadly, the Jewish people know perhaps better than anyone that there's no limit to the depravity of people when they want to inflict pain on others. In Israel, I saw people who were strong, determined, resilient, and also...
Hey, Noah's awesome. Welcome back. I got this. Woo! Welcome back, brother.
And reiterate, the United States remains committed to the Palestinian people, right to dignity and to self-determination. The actions of Hamas terrorists don't take that right away. Like so many other, I'm heartbroken by the tragic loss of Palestinian life, including the explosion. It's not somebody Israeli.
Woo! Thank you for the 400 subs. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I had to block some trolls last night. I think thanks very much. Thanks to y'all for subbing and everything. Yeah, it helped out a lot. Yeah. Whoop whoop. Can't party because I had a party last night, so can't have a double party. That's not.
Thousands and thousands of Ukrainian children forcibly taken into Russia, stolen from their parents.
Oh, okay. So he's trying to equate the
Hamas and Putin represent
potato head.
They share this in common.
Potato.
They both want to completely annihilate
They cleaned up his potato head though. They made it real shiny, and they like put the hair implants in. They made it look really, really. I mean, they were the makeup people, the hair people. They worked a long time on this. They didn't have to use CGI or AI or anything this time for the artificial intelligence president.
are suffering greatly because of that. Meanwhile, Putin denies
You know, wag the dog again.
real space.
Oh
He
boy.
claims a Soviet-made crane in Ukraine. And just 2 weeks ago,
Well, at least one thing our ancestors never had to worry about: worrying about whether stuff was real. Yeah, that's the problem. Our ancestors always knew that stuff was real. They always knew the news could be trusted, typically, so unless it was lying, like yellow journalism, like William Randolph Hearst or something like that, or Orson Welles giving the War of the Worlds on the radio. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Noah. You are awesome. That indeed. So
keep going. And the cost and the threats to America and the world keep rising.
yeah, the threats keep rising because this guy's fucking incompetent. That's why. So the threats would be under control if this dude wasn't elected president.
Already threatened to remind Poland that the Russian land is Russia.
Oh, okay.
Former president of Russia has called the country Lithuania Russia's Balkan province. These are all NATO.
So Biden is telling the people that that if you don't fund the war in Ukraine, that Vladimir Putin's going to take over Poland and take over NATO countries, and he's going to go after Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania.
Make it clear we do not seek.
He may do. He might try to do something like that. Yeah. I mean, see, he's not necessarily lying about that, but
We know that our allies and maybe most important our adversaries
they definitely want this Ukraine, this cheap war.
response in Ukraine as well. And if we want to
Oh, that's cool. All right, stay up later. Oh, that's good. Get to stay up late. That's great. All right, staying up late. It's Friday night. Friday night lights. We got the green beans here.
Iran is supporting Russia's in
Okay. Well, okay. If Iran's the bad guy, then why don't you take out Iran?
the region.
You know what I'm saying? So if that's the bad guy, all right. If the Russian Federation is supporting Iran, and then Iran is supporting terrorists, well, why don't you go whip up Iran? They're afraid if they go in guns blazing to Iran, that they're going to lose oil revenue and they'll lose the election. That's probably why they're cooling their jets, right? They're waiting to see if they can regain power in 2024. If they lose power, then all their plans, all their well-laid plans of mice and men will go down the shitter. So everything depends on them winning the 2024 election, the Democrat Party. Green beans scene. Oh yeah, whole green beans. HEB is Herbert E. Butts. It's the Butts, the Butt company. Yeah.
Support our critical partners, including Israel and Ukraine. It's a smart investment. It's going to pay dividends for American security for generations. Help us keep American troops out of harm's way. Help us build a world that is safer, more peaceful, more prosperous for our children and grandchildren. In Israel, we must make sure that they have what they need to protect their people.
Yeah.
The security patterns
Biden, Joseph R. Biden is the man who's going to safeguard you and your children for generations after generations to come. Man, this guy really, really has a megalomania issue, man.
We're going to make sure Iron Dome continues to warm the skies over Israel. We're going to make sure other hostile actors
And pigs can fly too. Yeah. He's looking out for us while he's making deals in the Chinese Communist Party, the Biden crime family, and Burisma in Ukraine. He's so much looking after us. Yeah, sure. Bullshit. He's a president that's looking out for us. He really cares about us. He's like the best president I've ever had in my life. Any American in the world. I mean, this is the greatest president ever in the history of man. Well, hopefully Hamas will be destroyed soon. Who? Oh, Trump? Oh, no. I was joking about Joe Biden, that he's the greatest president in history. That was being, they call it sarcastic, or if you want to be like a really cool, if you really want to like take it to the next level of vocabulary, you'll say, I was being facetious. So that's what we would say in Klein High School. That's what the kids in the advanced classes would say. That's the really, he's bad. I was being, sometimes I'll say stuff and it won't be actually the truth. It'll be like, it's a comic jest, but maybe some people don't pick up on it sometimes. So I don't mean to confuse people. So, yeah, some people might think I'm literally saying like Joe Biden's the best president ever, and that's like not true. Facetiousness, sarcasm, and typically, usually I would not speak in sarcasm because it had a certain negative connotation. Like they did a Kids in the Hall skit where a guy he just talks like he's sarcastic all the time. Like he says. It's Dave Foley, right? Yeah, he goes, I'm so happy to meet you. He's like, it's so hard to make friends with this condition. How old do I think you are? Just asking. I don't. You said you have school, so you must be under, you must be under 18, adult age, right? So
We have to work harder than ever to hold on to the values that make us who we are. We're a nation.
we must not give up on a two-state solution. We cannot give up on peace. Let's. You want me to like calculate your age from the conversation so far? Okay, under 18 years old, you go to school. All right, let's go number 2. Any other factors? Manner of speech. Let me see. The world seems like it's some big, like amazing adventure, you know. So the world is a big adventure to you. You're optimistic. You're not jaded. Oh wow. Oh okay. Oh yeah. So that is okay. So you are. I was in 6th grade. I was 11 or 12. You're 11 or 12. It just depends because the ballpark guess. Okay, thanks. That was the hint. That was the clue that I needed. So 6th grade, middle school. Yeah, those were the days. That's where people hit puberty and they experience changes, let's say. You know what I mean? The changes. When I was in 5th grade, like 10 years old, all the girls were big because they were going through puberty first. And all the boys were getting beat up by the girls because they had got their growth spurt. But then after the boys caught up, then the girls would not be Amazonian women. Okay. All right. Great. Oh, cool. You're doing a social media report or something like that? Oh, that's pretty cool. All right. I'll be your guinea pig. No problem. Guinea dude or whatever. Okay, so it's for a school report. Is it on Trump supporters or is it about social media in general? Just wondering. If you don't want to give that information, that's fine. You don't have to. So book reports. That's neat. Sociology, psychology, computer technology. I don't know what. Okay. All right. So you still have to do book reports in school, but without books. Yeah, in my day they had books, so it was like these libraries, and they had all these books, and
so much more. You know, just as in World War II, today patriotic American workers are building the arsenal of democracy.
the arsenal of freedom, weapons to cause more peace. Nice.
I boarded Air Force One for a secret flight to Poland. There I boarded a train with blacked out windows for a 10-hour ride each way
Okay.
to Kyiv.
He's trying to be like, he's such a badass. Oh, and I reduced my security detail too. I'm such a badass, aren't I? I go in the dark on trains to Kiev, Ukraine, and I limit. I tell them, no, I don't want 20 security guards. I want, I want my detail reduced to 4. So then, oh man, I'm just a bad motherfucker. I'm just so badass. Okay. I want the Ukrainian people to have the promise of America. Yeah. I hope this guy is not in office in the 250th anniversary of America. I so hope it's Trump. I'm so badass. I took a train with blacked out windows at night, in the dead of night, going across from Poland to Ukraine. I said, I want a limited security detail. I'm a badass. I know we have our divisions at home. We have to get past them. We can't let petty partisan angry politics get in the way of responsibility. Hold on, our responsibilities to. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's true. That's true. Yeah. Yeah. It does. That's a good observation there. When we do it together, I love it when we do it together. You're going my way. Mm-hmm. We're gonna do it together. That's a good one, huh? All right. What? 100 billion. What? Who's gonna pay for this shit, dude? Not me. Who's paying for this shit, dude? Oh, American workers and taxpayers, right? So that's what it is.
Capacity. If we do it together. My fellow Americans,
we do it. Let's finish the job.
God bless you all. May God protect our troops.
Yeah.
President Biden, a public address to the nation from the Oval Office at the White House, making the case that he will ask
McDonald's,
Congress for a
Starbucks,
significant foreign aid package,
big
$100 billion to help support Israel and unprecedented help for Israel and their defense, and also to continue to support Ukraine. The president making the case.
I am a very serious guy. I have very serious things to tell you. Look at how he does this, the way he inflects his voice to make everything serious.
He talked about these threats, both Hamas and Vladimir Putin, saying they are very different threats, but he drew a parallel. He said they both want to annihilate democracies right next to them. Yeah. He talked about the situation here at home, talked about the anti-Semitism, the Islamophobia, in wake of what we're witnessing in the Middle East. He said that must stop. We must come together in
Islamophobia.
And he also signaled out Iran, supporting both Russia and Hamas, and he said we will continue to hold them accountable. I want to bring in our Chief Global Affairs anchor, Martha Raddatz, live in Tel Aviv with me again tonight. And Martha, this is a significant needle he must thread with two.
Joe Byfart. Oh, man. Yeah. So we're gonna get this going here. Uh-oh. I did the wrong one, dude. Yeah. I'm not the one. Let's get Gotta put the butter on top. The butter on top. Smooth like butter. K-pop? BTS. Right. South Korea. All right, let's put the butter on. Ooh. Oh. Yeah, well, that was a big one. Okay. That's fine. We're gonna use it. So, smooth like butter. Oh yeah. K-pop. This is interpretistic dance. What's up right here? See what's up on the countertop. Oh, your laptop keyboard is flat, but my wired keyboard is weird. She's like, hey, dude. What are you doing? Oh, yeah. We're going to have those green beans on these scenes. Don't worry about it. Fighting two wars. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's Bella Boop, the Shizu. Yeah. The most sane person in the whole family, really. She is the rock of love. She's the rock of Gibraltar. She's the Bella is what keeps it all. Yeah, it's like the glue. Bella is like the strings in the string theory that keep the universe together. It's like the dark energy or the dark matter. It just holds everything together. Holds all the atoms in the universe together. And so oh, no, go to that. And if you're very lucky, you'll get to write in your report about what a really attractive woman looks like. Are they going to help me out here? Hi, I'm old. I have a mustache. Vote for me.
Asking for your vote for mayor.
I want to be mayor.
Basics of Medicare.
I'm 100,000 years old, but I want to be your mayor. I don't know. Will Houston pick a white dude again? They're probably going to go white. They're going to swing back. They're going to be like, yeah, we had a black mayor, and he was like kind of doing all this, giving African people salaries they didn't earn and stuff, doing all kinds of like corruption and stuff. They're like, okay, we're gonna take a break from the brothers for a little while, right? The Africans. That's what he's doing. So, yeah, taking a break from that, and we're gonna go back to Whitey. They feel safe going back to Whitey. They're like, oh man, let's go back to Whitey. With his people, Return of the Whitey. Oh man, Return of Whitey. It was kind of inevitable. Oh man. Okay, so we're cooking up chicken. Return of the Whitey. Okay, is there any babes on the news today or not? Let's see if Barbie's in the house. Micah Hatfield. Okay. Brakes on Tesla's Model X. How's the green energy scam going? Is it going good? Pose serious hazards. All right, Latina.
install a barrier in certain parts along the Texas-New Mexico state line. Officials say guard members have been placing wire in an area close to Sunland Park, New Mexico, which shares a border with El Paso, Texas, I should say. So in a statement given to ABC News, the Texas Military Department says the Texas National Guard is, quote, fortifying the border between the two states. New Mexico representatives said
They're trying to keep the brownies out, huh?
about the governor's plan.
The darkies, or I mean the brownies. I call them the Latin Americans, the third worlders. I call them like the brownies, like. So they're trying to keep the brownies down, like brownie reduction control. Hey, I will promise you this: if it was Swedish people running across the border, like really hot chicks, there would be no border at all. If they were European, there would be no border. Like not if there was hot if there was like Romanian chicks coming across the border or like Charlize Theron's, we would not have a foreign border at all. That's the truth. But since it's brown guys going after your little kids and going to your local schools, and since it's gangbangers and drug cartels, well, that changes the story. The MS-13 and the terrorists and the foreigners and people that do not share our language or culture or anything like that. So, yeah. So there wouldn't be a border if they were Dutch, if they were Polish or something, you know? If they were German, there wouldn't be a border. If they were from Holland, they were Dutch, Amsterdam, Denmark, the Netherlands. If they were from anywhere else, just about, except for notable exceptions being, let's say the Russians had a big fleet back in the colonial days, and they had a strong, and they were world traveling people, and they had conquered Central and Southern America. You know, well, people might let the border open if we weren't at war or conflict with, if they weren't communist or Marxist, socialist, leftist. All right. I think this one is like, I think that's going to be enough chicken. I just can't snack on it. It's really, until we make the fettuccine Alfredo, and just can't snack on it. So I have to be disciplined, and so I have to have a discipline ready. So if the southern border of the United States of America was, let's say the French had colonized Central and South America, for the most part, and it was mostly a French-speaking Central, the southern continent. Well, then the border might be open because people will be like, oh, there's French people coming. Oh, look, there's French babes. They're gonna bring baguettes and cheese and champagne and wine. Yeah, let them in, let them in. Yeah. Ooh la la. But since it's a bunch of single males that are after the kids and the females, because they're, you know, a lot of them are, who knows where they're coming from, who knows what their criminal record is, what their rap sheet is. It could be chomos, it could be child molesters. So, yeah, it kind of sucks to have to put up razor wire and walls on our border, but then again, it's gonna keep Russian, Chinese, and foreign third world actors out of our country. So it'll protect American citizens, even though it may look barbaric, or the left would consider it cruel. But it's just, you know what? Oh, they're just dreamers, dreaming of a better life. They just want freedom to escape their dismal, abysmal nations. Well, I would say to them, well, why don't you just make your nation better, right? But like Venezuela already collapsed. So they want to bring this collapse to America. And America really doesn't want to collapse. So, because somebody in Venezuela made the economy off of oil, like Hugo Chavez, and so it wasn't a diverse economy, so it failed. And when the profits dried up, then the people at the top took all the money, and they left everybody else broke when the currency crashed. There was uprising with the Venezuelan people against this evil dictator, Nicolas Maduro, but his military put down his resistance, even though there wasn't an attempt. Did she get sent to the hood? Man shot and killed outside gas station, a second homicide in area this month. She's like, oh shit, I got it. North Harris County? Oh yeah, it's like the hood, huh? Shop and save. Shop and save your life. It's Ella. Why do I always hear Ella Boulevard? Is there like a lot of illegals, and there's probably a lot of black people over there. But anyways, we know what's going on over there. Yeah, it's the hood. So it's the hood, Zay. You always hear murder on Ella Boulevard, murder on Ella Boulevard. It's always like Ella Boulevard. Ella. So maybe the messages don't go to Ella Boulevard. That's probably the reason. So is it racist to say wall up the border? Well, obviously the border exists because there's different people and they speak different languages, right? And they have different belief systems. That's why there's nations. That's why there's borders. Because different nations have different laws and different religions and different cultures and different languages and different origins and the whole rest of it, right? They didn't send Barbie Micah Hatfield. They didn't send Micah Hatfield to the. You better mix up these green beans. They didn't send Micah Hatfield to the hood, so you don't want to go to the hood and get shot at the sack and save. That's the best feeling, man. The bullet, you know, when it penetrates, it's like the lead just goes through the body, and it's like and when it stings, it's like oh man, what a feeling. It's like, oh yeah, let's go to Ella. We're gonna have a hell of a good time. An hell of a good time. Christina? Who? Pabon? Oh, she's Hispanic, huh? Yeah, Pabon. Castilian Spanish or that Pabon? That's like original Spanish. That's Castilian. Wow, that's the OG shit from Europe. That's pretty cool. All right, we'll exercise discipline this time, which is not something that I usually exercise, but it's important to do it this time. Now, remember that some trolls are just like trolls, okay? Some people might know me from the past. There might be some people, you know, living at their grandma's or living at their mom's that are bitter how their life worked out, and they might be, you know, trying to attack me, like old coworkers and stuff like that. So they just, what they do is they register under a different name, so I won't know it's them. But it's like, you know, basically go fuck yourself. But, you know, I'll block. I'll block people if they do harassing comments and stuff like that. So in addition, I don't spill all the personal details about my life or my family on here. Even if you see the picture, you don't really see the whole picture because that's impossible because you'd have to see what's inside people's minds. And of course, I have all sorts of secret idea notebooks, idea files. There's all sorts of stuff. You know, it's a huge gallery. I write down, you know, new ideas all the time and try to keep track of everything. So the creative process really never sleeps, except when I do. I mean, okay, so now we're going to transfer. We're going to do something. We're going to save the butter and the chicken juices. And so this is what we're going to do here. All right, we're going to transfer. All right. That nice juicy. Get that juicy. That I like the chef who says I like the juicy, and get some of that juicy. I forgot his name, but yeah, he was great. He's a professional chef. I think he went to culinary school. All right, and then we save the juice. Now the juice is loose. So if it's a troll that knows too much information about me, yeah, they could have been paying attention to every single detail in all the videos. Like they could have watched every video, let's say. But another thing, they could just know me personally and they know about my family because, you know, we have known each other before, like in the past, like coworkers, ex-friends, stuff like that. So there might be people like that out there. Who knows how many, but so a troll could be somebody who doesn't like you very much at all, right? They don't care for you. They don't care for your existence. So they say a friend is someone who has your back, and an enemy, like Coach Red Pill would say, Gonzalo Lira, an enemy is somebody who wants your existence to be over with. Okay? So that's the key difference. Or you could also be indifferent to someone's existence. Indifferent is perfectly legal. So it is like, yeah, that guy, you know, he's a pain in the ass, so I'm just going to not associate with him for the rest of my life. And so there it is. Or that girl is a B, I'm going to avoid her for the rest of my life. So, you know, indifference is not illegal. And, well, hate really isn't illegal, you know. But so then we start chopping. You could hate anybody who you want legally speaking. You could not like people. That's legal. But I guess that's a big thing of fat. So I'll throw that away. All right. Are we going to be disciplined with the chicken? Let's have chicken discipline. Oh, yeah. It's even done. All right. Do that chicken discipline, man. Yeah, we're not going to have a bite of it. We're only going to do one thing for my dog because I love Shih Tzu Bella. And so, boom. There it is. Okay, so she gets a treat, but I don't get a treat until dinner. So my gratification is going to be delayed instead of instantly. There is something to the delayed gratification thing, because it's not only healthy, but it also teaches you that you don't even know what's for dinner yet. Yeah. Chicken. It's what's for dinner. Is that the old ad? It was like, is that the old? Oh, there's on Mega Man Hotel on Xandronum. They have Xandronum, which hosts all these old 3D games, like 8-bit, and they're like 3D worlds and everything, and on Xandronum. But it's for Doom, Mega Man, Hexen. They have like Minecraft. They have a whole bunch of different games on there. Xandronum is what it's called. So you download. It's free. All you need is like Doom Seeker and stuff. I don't want you to get hooked on video games, but it's live online, and it's tons of fun, and it's like its own virtual verse, its own kind of like, I guess it's a pre-metaverse, but without there's no VR interaction as far as I know. You don't know? I think so. They have a cafe in this virtual hotel, this Mega Man hotel, and Mega Man Resort, and it's like they have a guy that looks like kind of like a king from. It's cooking those. I put the green beans back on low because I was kind of overcooking. A guy that looks like Jesus, or he looks like he looks like an old ancient king, or he looks like he's the king in like He-Man from Eternia, and it's like a poster. I don't know if you know what He-Man is, but it was an old show like 40 years ago, a cartoon show by the, was it Mattel or Hasbro Corporation? Anyways, maybe it was Mattel. I'm not sure, but we'll look. Yeah, it was Mattel. So Mattel was looking for a competitor back in the late 1970s to compete with Kenner, which produced the Star Wars toy lines for kids. So they invented He-Man, a fantasy warrior, and in the land of Eternia, and he battles Skeletor. Good versus evil story, traditional kind of story, and the stuff of legends. Yeah, and the king of Prince Adam, who is He-Man, secretly, is like this. He looks very kingly. He has the king beard, and he has the king crown. He has like the ancient, like Old Testament type robes and stuff like that. Very traditional king looking. Another specialty from Herbert E. Butts Corporation, but the brands, sometimes they don't call it HEB brand, sometimes they call it this other thing, which is Hill Country Fair. So, one cup of hot water, 1 3/4 cups of 2% milk. Okay, 1 3/4. Well, okay, so in school, do kids do they go over ambitious like Doogie Howser, like try to get like become like doctors at like 12 and stuff, or are they like, hey, let's enjoy our childhood and we'll just wait till later, we'll just start paying attention later, like like, oh, we'll deal with the adult crap later, like, or are there some people like, hey, we have the internet, why don't we get years and years ahead, So there's some kids like, oh, I want to prepare my entire life, like, like start when I'm 10 or something. So I wonder, because you have all this online learning, and like, I was curious if kids. Oh, okay. So most of the kids say adult crap later. Oh, okay. All right then. Yeah, that's what I figured. I mean, I'm not saying that kids are just lazy, but it's like, why go into the adult world early? You know what I mean? It's like, so yeah, I'm kind of wondering if there's like any kids that would like. So I put the butter in here, and the chicken juice. It makes it way more flavorful. I know it's not very healthy, but sometimes flavor is not healthy. All right. I'm going to put a little bit of pepper, but not too much because okay, so we need 1 cup of hot water. Okay, so most of them said adult crap later. All right. Adult crap later. Yeah, I just wondered, I mean, not just like Dookie Howser or advanced kids that skip levels naturally, like, you know, savants and so on, like genius level people, like gifted and talented. I'm not just talking about that in the education system. I'm talking about like people that are just overachievers. Like they're like, you know, the guy Max from, well, that's not a good example because he like takes so many classes that he fails everything. In Rushmore, Wes Anderson movie. So I wonder if there are any like, you know, kind of like overachiever people, you know, that go the extra mile and then they don't stop and they just keep on going and going. Like there's people, I'm going to be the top of my class and graduating high school. Like, you know, I'm going to get all the scholarships. I'm going to get everything from all the biggest companies and I'm going to get the best jobs and I'm going to have the best everything. So I was just wondering if there's people like that. I'm sure there is, but you know, working so hard at a young age is good, but it kind of sacrifices the childhood, the fun part of it. So yeah, that's what I thought. Most children are just like, well, they already robbed my childhood with that COVID shit. You know, everybody stay inside for 2 years, and that's had to have fucked up a lot of kids. So the Chinese plague from our communist Chinese party friends. Okay, so then we're gonna mix this bad boy up, right? Yeah, you just mix it up. We're gonna do the fettuccine sauce first, and then so what's the first time I cooked? It was home. I don't know if they had this in middle school, but in 7th grade we took a class called home economics in Pasadena school system in Texas, and so anyways, we gotta whisk this up. Whip, whip, stir, whip, like the Star Wars holiday special. Stir, stir, whip, whip. Don't watch the Star Wars holiday special. I know you're going to now, but oh my god. The beginning of the Star Wars holiday special is just like the Chewbacca's, the Kashyyykians, they're just going, oh, like for fucking like 20, like for 10 minutes or some shit. It's awful. They're just like, as the nostalgia critic says, they're belching their lines. It's awful. It's like, it was so awful that George Lucas tried to get rid of it for a while. He tried to get rid of the tapes. He's always trying to like get rid of like stuff that he's like embarrassed about. You know, people don't want to be embarrassed, so they're always trying to get rid of stuff they're embarrassed about. Yeah. I guess that's true. If you don't make a quality, thing, then it's going to be bad news, right? Okay. Let's go ahead and boil this up. Then we'll add the chicken to the equation. I want to make sure it's really finely chopped. So I'm wondering if there's like any kids like in school now that are like, I want to join the Star Force and shit, you know? Space Force, Star League, or whatever it's called. Space Defense Force. Or the Interstate Love Song. Where you going for tomorrow? Where you going for your master found? And I feel when the dogs begin to smell her. Will she smell alone? When the dogs will find her. Take time away for tomorrow to find it. Dun, dun, dun. Interstate Love Song. That does sound like they're talking about like a body, right? Like somebody was killed and left on the side of the road or something. That may be a joke in and of itself. Interstate Love Song. Stone Temple Pilots, right? Scott Weiland. Rest in peace. That last show, he was a mess. So, I was in Arlington going to see the Rolling Stone show with my parents, my stepdad and my mother, and then in like 2015, the Zip Code tour. And it said Scott Weiland. And then my parents really didn't know. They liked Stone Temple Pilots probably. I don't know if they bought any of the records, but I know my mom liked Stone Temple Pilots. But I was like telling my stepdad and my mom, like, hey, it's Scott Weiland. He's playing at this club over here. And so finally I was like, well, how am I going to get inside that club? Because how can I time travel? Like, what are my options? Well, I can use the internet to time travel. So that's how I use the internet a lot of times. Like, let me get in somewhere where... Now, I don't want to get into the Israeli-Hamas attack. I don't want to watch that again because the content is so graphic that I don't want to see that again. So I don't want to see the charred bodies and the guy get shot in the head again. I don't want to see, people maniacally laughing and shooting, killing people again. So I don't want to see people pretending to be dead. And I just don't really like that kind of content. I don't think that most people do enjoy that kind of content. So, anyhow, but I wanted to see what Scott Weiland's, one of his last performances was like before he died. But he was just like on drugs, drunk, and he was just like fucked up. And he was slurring his speech, and he could barely get through a song, and the songs were really bad. And I felt kind of sad, for him that was his final shows, because they weren't good because he was so addicted to like opiates, heroin, hard drugs, bad stuff. That's say no to drugs. Dare to keep kids off drugs. They're bad. They kill people. So destroy people's lives and all that stuff. So, anyways. Yeah, my friend was like, "Oh, you drink some beer, have some cocktails every now and again and stuff." And then he's like, "Oh, good, you don't do drugs." And I was like, it's not necessarily better. There's no drug that's better. Okay? It's not like I guess there's a hierarchy of like good and evil, but still, there are drugs that are legal, and the reason why they made alcohol legal is because prohibition didn't work. People wanted to drink. And so that turned out to be a right that really, from a European culture standpoint, that was a right that was doomed to not be taken away, because all it does is create a bunch of drug lords in the country, gangsters like Al Capone in Chicago and stuff. Okay, reduce heat and simmer. All it does is create an alcohol drug war, basically. And it gets really nasty. So between the federal government trying to enforce alcohol prohibition and through the many gangsters that are going to try to create and distill and peddle alcohol. So it's a nightmare from a bloodshed perspective. And really, from an enforcement perspective, drugs are a nightmare enough from Chinese synthetic opioids coming from the south of the border. The Chinese communists trying to kill Americans by giving the Mexican drug cartels the chemicals to make fentanyl, a highly addictive synthetic opioid. So why don't people want to feel anymore? Yeah, I guess, sadness, depression, anxiety, the usual suspects, the usual devils take people down. They're not like mysterious devils a lot of time. They're not like, yeah, they're shadowy, but they're the same ones almost every time. The demons are always the same. They just might change their appearance, but they're always the same ones. So we have 10 minutes on this, making some really nice creamy chicken fettuccine. Alfredo, creamy fettuccine. Creamy fettuccine. I want linguine. I want girls in bikinis. Itsy bitsy teeny weeny. Oh yeah. I need a genie. It would be nice to have a genie. If there was like really genies and you could like ask them like 3 wishes. What would you wish for? I guess is the 3 genies. If there was such thing as like in the Arabian mythos, like there was really genies that could like grant wishes, I would say, all right, bro. Well, I hope you got good luck at school. Stay in school. Stay off drugs. Say no to drugs. Nancy Reagan. And God bless. Best of success.